and today we are going to talk about rape. I know a lot of you kids and some young adults have actually been through it, and we just want to discuss it a little bit. And okay, girls, take it away, Allie.
Let's see here.
Introduce yourself, hon.
My name is Allie. I am a high school student. I'm 17 years old, and rape is something that is all too familiar to me. I have been through it twice in my life, and it's not something that anyone should have to experience. It's very traumatic, and it can change your life from the moment it happens till the end. Being that I was so young when it first happened, I was 12 years old. It happened to me from one of my older brother's friends, and he took advantage of the fact that I was young and naive. And I actually have a couple scars. He was very abusive and hit me. It traumatized me for quite a few years. I didn't tell anyone. And another instance happened to me when I was 14 from a teacher who took advantage of his title. And still to this day, I have nightmares, panic attacks. So if there's anybody out there that has ever dealt with this, speak up. Don't hide it. Let somebody help you. Go talk to somebody about it. Be a teacher, a counselor, a friend, a parent. Tell somebody, because if you don't tell anybody, you won't heal. You will carry that on your shoulders for the rest of your life, and it's not worth it. You have to let it out, and you have to share. It's not worth ruining your life. It's really not.
Now, Allie, do you find, in same with Lexi, do you find kids at school that are maybe being raped or being sexually abused by family members, and yet they're not saying anything? Like with the teenagers, like, can you spot somebody? Can you spot a kid that is maybe, you know, going through something like that? Do you think? Or is it just so hidden that we never notice it?
It's very well hidden. I hid it for almost 4 years. You could tell that something was wrong, but it just looked like I was a tired, stressed teenager. You could not tell that that's what it was. And I finally broke down and told my mother and my stepfather, and they immediately brought me into counseling, and they told me, you know, everything's going to be okay. And the thing is that when you think about things that happen like this, there's a lot of people out there who just don't care. They don't say, here's my shoulder, talk to me, tell me how you're feeling. There's some parents that just say, get over it.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. I had my entire family by my side to support me, to tell me that it's okay, we're going to be here for you, it's not your fault. And it's unfortunate that there's girls out there that are afraid, or not even just girls, but men. This happens to younger guys. In middle school, elementary school, they're sexually abused and raped by cousins, family members, friends, whatever the case is, and they won't speak up because they're afraid that nobody's going to believe them, or somebody's going to tell them that it's their fault.
Exactly.
And it's unfortunate, it is.
Well, I've known some girls that have come to me, older women though, not in their teens, maybe early 20s and 30s, that have said, when I was a teenager, it happened to me, but I did tell my mother, and my mother said, you're lying, shut your mouth. You know, and so because of that, it made it really hard on them, because they had to cope alone going through it. And
nobody should have to deal with it. The experience alone is something that nobody should have to do.
Exactly.
But to do it and have to suffer with it every day and every night is something that no one should have to deal with. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. If you know what that is. They wanted to medicate me. I went through lawyers and courts and judges and grand juries and summonses, and it was one of the most traumatic experiences of my entire life. The problem is that there's so many people out there that when they do speak up, they only speak up to a certain point, and then they stop, and then they'll say, never mind, I lied, because the problem is that when you have the experience, it's that one time and then it's over.
Yeah.
Or it's for a certain period of time and then it's over. But when you get to the point where I did, where you have courts and lawyers and things like that.
That's right.
Every time you meet somebody new, you have to tell them the same story over, and you relive it every time you talk about it.
Exactly.
And it's something that's very hard to deal with. And I don't know if you've had any friends who have had anything happen to them like that. No. You as a young girl need to protect yourself. I'm not saying to you that you shouldn't trust men, but be aware of who you're spending time with. Be aware of the people that you're friends with. If you're friends with somebody who's 16 years old dating a 20-year-old, that's not a good idea. You should not be with that 20-year-old as a friend. God forbid something happens, what do?
It's true.
You don't want to put yourself in a position that you don't see that something bad can happen to you. As a young lady, I mean, I'm only a few years older than you, but being that I was your age when it happened to me, can you imagine that? It's hard to imagine, isn't it? It's something that no one should ever have to go through. I still have to go to counseling.
Yeah.
I see a white Toyota have a panic attack in the middle of the car. It's very unfortunate. And like I said, speak up now. Tomorrow, call someone.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why LEXI'S Place is here, because we are meeting every Wednesday night, not just to sit and talk like this, but we're meeting every Wednesday night. We're going to be doing a lot of fun things, but we're also going to make it where we have trust in people. And like even tonight, I had a question. And it's so great because I can ask you guys. So it's kind of joining together and just getting to know each other, but also getting to trust each other and say, I do have a problem. I was raped at one time, and I was older. And I was raped, and I had nobody to talk to. And I knew the man that raped me played in the choir, or in the orchestra at church. So like for me to go to a pastor or something like that and say, I just got raped by your brother, it's like I couldn't, because they would say, well, yeah, right, you're lying.
Exactly.
See? So you tend to shut it up, and I shut up. I didn't tell anybody. Now I'm telling a few people. I'm not telling names. But that's what happens. And it is, like you say, Allie, to be on guard for the different people. The one thing I find is people will come and say, oh, I really love you, or I do this, and they'll kind of suck you in. Okay? They'll suck you in. So you start to, maybe a lot of girls are having like a bad home life or something, and a guy comes along and says, oh, I really love you, like, I can help you, or you're pretty, you are so pretty.
They will tell you anything
exactly
to get what they want. I had a grown man, I was 14 years old, he was 24. He had been with this girl that he was with for 6 years, 7 years. He took advantage of the trust that I had in him as a teacher. And it's unfortunate because it gave me a sense of security when dealing with male teachers. It's not to say that all teachers are bad. It's just to say that this man was not mentally ready for the power that he had. He took advantage of it.
Exactly.
And I don't want you girls to go out there and say, oh, well, my male teacher's bad. I can't be alone with him. It's not that. It's you need to be aware of the people that you're around. If someone has a really nice personality and things like that, and they do what they can to help you, but they're not being too overboard and making you uncomfortable, that's somebody that's okay. But if you have someone that you just met, or a boyfriend, or somebody that you've been with for a long time, that's starting to get too intimate with things too fast for you, and they're trying to be everything that you ever wanted and more, they're looking for something that you may or may not be willing to give. And if you're not, they might take it if they want it.
That's true.
And I had an older guy do it to me when I was 12 years old. I wasn't ready. He was older than me. He was mature. He knew what he wanted, and he took it. And it's... When people think about rape victims, they think of people who are sitting on the floor in a ball curled up in the corner of their bedroom for weeks. And they watch too much TV.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
Me, I went to 6 months of counseling, and I was fine. I'm the type of person that's very headstrong. I pushed my way through high school. I'm graduating with honors, and I did that on my own. I fought through it on my own. So all you girls, young men, whoever you are, gender aside, if you think that you're gonna give up and you can't do it, don't. Do not let them rent space in your head. They ruined your life for a short period of time, yes, but why should you give them more power than they already had?
Exactly.
They took advantage of the power that they had and took advantage of you, and now you're letting them take advantage of the rest of your life. Take that power back. Take your life back. Take back your pride. Take back your strength, and live the life that you wanted for yourself to begin with. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to be a star student, and I almost failed school my freshman year of high school. I flunked so bad I had to transfer schools, and I was bullied in school because of it. Everybody told me I lied. A girl that I was supposedly best friends with for 3 years told everyone that it didn't happen to me, it happened to her. I put an innocent man in jail.
Wow.
And it was a horrible, horrible experience. But I'm the type of person that takes things and runs with it. And you seem to have done the same thing.
Exactly.
Things have happened to you, but you're headstrong. You took it and you made it good.
Exactly.
As crappy as it is, and as much as it hurts you, you took it and ran.
Exactly.
That's what these young people need to do.
Well, that's what Lexi's Place is all about. So we're going to have the contact information. Probably as we're talking, it'll be running along the bottom of the screen. And Lexi, I thank you, because Lexi started all this. It was our first talk that really got it going, and I'm really blessed to know Lexi. And Allie, you're such a blessing to us. You really are, because you have the inner gumption to speak it out, because a lot of kids don't. And I'm really happy I met you.
People need to hear it. People
They
need
do.
to voice
They
it.
do.
If you don't speak up and you don't scream and yell and tell people, look, stop it.
Exactly.
They'll never do it. And
Exactly.
you have your whole life ahead of you. You are such a sweet young lady. Make sure that you stay that way. Men will come and go. Don't let somebody take that away from you. Don't let somebody take your life away from you. And because this whole thing started because of you, you have given me a place to tell people my story, to give people my inspiration and tell them how I did it, how I made my life a success out of something that should have ruined it and put me in rock bottom. So I thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for some more videos, and hopefully other things will be coming up. This one is on rape, but we have a lot of topics that we'll be talking about. So remember to copy the phone number down at the bottom and give us a call if you need help, because we're here. Have a great night.
You can fly through this, you are strong. You can fly through this, you are strong. You can fly through this.